Here's Brody Brazil.
Well, it's kind of crazy right now how you've got Major League Baseball trying to bring itself to Las Vegas. Meanwhile, with the NBA, there's two totally separate groups. They're actually dueling to try and have the association land in Sin City. Technically, there have been three groups. One of them just went away, totally disbanded. But that same site they were pursuing has now been picked up by this new group, which I will explain in just a second. First, you need to understand that the NBA to Las Vegas is almost a given. This was coverage I did from last summer, where NBA Commissioner Adam Silver addressed reporters on a certain Monday during the 2023 Summer League in Las Vegas, and he touched on a number of topics, most notably expansion. He confirmed that the league will begin exploring the idea once the current media rights deal is up in 2025. It's just an easier and better time to expand once the dust has settled, once they know the lay of the land with their media rights deals. The commissioner said, quote, "We will turn to expansion once those new media deals are done. It's not a sure thing, but as I've said before, I think it's natural that organizations grow like the NBA does over time." Seattle and Las Vegas seeming like the obvious choices for NBA expansion. And people are in on Las Vegas as an NBA town, like LeBron James. He literally wants to be part of the ownership group, and he's already stated that. He doesn't even know what ownership group is going to exist, but he wants to be part of it. He said, 6, 8, 9 months ago, he said this, quote, "You have the NFL's Raiders there. You have the NHL's Golden Knights here. You have the WNBA's Aces here." He was obviously in Las Vegas saying this. "You've got F1 coming very soon." Okay, so that was probably in September, October. All-Star Weekend has been here a few times. You've got the NBA Summer League that's very popular. I think adding an NBA franchise here would just add to the momentum that's going on in this town. I think it's only a matter of time, and I hope I'm part of that time. I mean, you've literally got one of the faces of the NBA saying right now that he wants to be part of the ownership group when eventually it comes to Las Vegas. Now, this is the AllNet site and project, and this was discussed for basically a decade until it recently ended, which I'll document in just a second. And you can kind of tell that these renderings are dated and aged a little bit. And it's not just because of the architecture, but maybe the graphic quality of the rendering itself. This looks like something from the early 2010s, and realistically, it probably is. This is a rendering they were sitting on for quite some time. The site never changed, but the ideas did. Eventually, all of this went away. But that has been out there for a very long time. It just never came to fruition. The AllNet project was 27 acres. It's on the north side of the Strip, and I'll show you the exact plot of land in just a second. It's near the Fontainebleau, the Stratosphere, and Circus. And what they wanted to do was a $4.9 billion project, a hotel with retail space, and, oh yeah, an NBA arena. Now, this was a plan before T-Mobile Arena was even a plan. Since then, they've built that. The Golden Knights have played there for 6 seasons. They've won a Stanley Cup there. They've been to 2 Stanley Cup finals. You understand how this is kind of dragged on and been surpassed by the NHL. And it's also interesting. I mean, Las Vegas is going to have an indoor stadium that's just for football, an indoor arena that's just for hockey. They've already got the Thomas and Mack Center. They've already got some other indoor venues, the Michelob Ultra Arena for the Aces, and now they want to build a separate arena just for the NBA. At some point, and I know there's a lot of acts and entertainment that come there, but this is a lot of buildings and venues for a town like Las Vegas. I mean, financially, realistically, doesn't playing at the T-Mobile Arena, doesn't that seem like a good idea? Anyway, so this has been a plan since 2013, and it's not a plan anymore. There's the plot of land. It's literally shovel ready. There's not a lot of digging or excavation. Certainly no implosion needs to happen. Like, that piece of land is ready to go. I've outlined it for you there. Obviously, we're looking south, so there's the Stratosphere pointed to in red, and there's the Sphere in green further down the Strip. And you can kind of see where the airport is and everything else, and obviously where the A's are planning to build their stadium even farther than that down Las Vegas Boulevard. But that kind of gives you a lay of the land, but it's that very same site that's now being considered by this new real estate corporation, which I'll get to in just a second. The reason they have the opportunity is because the AllNet project, as we know it, it ended officially in November of 2023. There were longtime funding issues. They kept seeking extensions for a development agreement with Clark County. And finally, the county said back in November of 23, we have denied these extensions. We're not working with you anymore. We cannot let this go on. we're ceasing our operations and this existence. It's not going to happen. So the AllNet project officially comes to an end. So that's what, 5, almost 6 months ago? Well, enter the LVXP group. They're a real estate firm, they do development, and this is what they came out and said as of Monday. Quote, the multi-purpose entertainment and lifestyle venue is expected to feature an expansive retail plaza, state-of-the-art convention space, a destination casino, and several ultra-luxury hotels and residences. Importantly, the site could serve as the home for a new NBA franchise, representing a significant development for Clark County and the community. And yes, that's a picture of the very same plot of land that the AllNet site was trying to build on. They're not referencing the AllNet site. They kind of don't want to bring up that bad energy that it never happened and this is a different group trying to do something identical on this same plot of land. But they are saying that a 2,500-room ultra-luxury resort with an arena seating 18,500 to 20,000 people will anchor the development. So there's really no question that an arena is the centerpiece of this project. That's how this project's going to go with an NBA arena. So that's interesting that a group has come in and set their eyes on the same piece of land that never got developed even after 10 years of trying. But hang on a second, because this video is about to take a twist and a turn. There's also already been a totally different group that's well along in the process. They've been on this for years now. This is the Oak View Group headed by Tim Leiweke, and they're trying to build on the other side of the strip, the far south side of the strip, a 66-acre site. It's a $10 billion district, right? This isn't just a block. This is basically twice, almost 3 times the size, twice the size, let's say, but a $10 billion district with a 20,000-seat arena. And Leiweke said last summer this, quote, on this arena, I'm not asking anybody for any money. Leiweke said as the crowd cheered as he announced this. We're not going before the state. We're not going before the county. He wants to build this arena that's privately financed, that has no referendum votes, that has no roadblocks in its way. Speaking of roadblocks, I think it's right next to the Brightline train station and stop that they're bound to build in Las Vegas that connects to Southern California, the high-speed rail. But this Oakview group has been a lot more established in the process. Certainly, they're more of the front runner as the LVXP group emerges, and it kind of makes you wonder, why would somebody else jump into this competition and conversation if they didn't have a chance? If this Oakview group is so far along, and I do believe they are, why try and make this difficult or maybe give the NBA options? Maybe it's all about competition. Maybe there has been a hitch in the process. The Oakview group has basically come out to say, you won't see renderings from us. You won't see a lot of bells and whistles until we're actually ready to go. And we know this is going to be a thing. And we, again, haven't heard much from them, but you'd still have to think that they are very much invested in this process and their project. So right now, again, it's crazy to think that Major League Baseball is trying to gain these inroads and get into Las Vegas and get the Oakland A's to be down there permanently, and there have been some issues with that. But now there's 2 totally separate groups. They don't even have a team. They're trying to build a stadium, an arena, on a site, do a project to lure the NBA in. Nobody's really trying to lure Major League Baseball in, but they are trying to lure the NBA in 2 different places, north side of the strip and south side of the strip right now for Las Vegas. And like I said before, I wouldn't be covering this as much, but I totally understand this is bound to happen one way or another with the NBA and Las Vegas. Probably sometime next year in the calendar year of 2025. Again, I'll also say that I think Seattle is a great fit, a redeeming fit for losing the Sonics all those years ago. I think Seattle and Las Vegas are the 2 shoo-ins for NBA expansion. Hey, you made it here to the end of the video. You know, I appreciate that. Thumbs up down below. That'll greatly help me, this video, and this channel. And by the way, if you've never seen me before, that's actually a good thing. I'm glad you found me, but make sure you come back next time. And the way to do it is to go down there and hit that subscribe button. So like I said, I can definitely see you back here next time.